Hey guys, Silver here, and ever since last year, I've become a huge fan of Dragon Ball, as I've been binge watching Dragon Ball Z as well as playing some of the awesome fighting games like Fighter Z and Sparking Zero. Dragon Ball has quickly become one of my biggest obsessions, and I'm not alone on this, as tons of people, including myself, are huge fans of both Sonic and Dragon Ball, and many love to think about which characters from these two series would win in a fight. So I thought I'd talk about whether Sonic, Shadow, and Silver could win a fight against the three weakest Z fighters, Yamcha, Tien, and Chaozu. Now you might be wondering why I'm not putting the Sonic characters against Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks, and it's because as much as I love the Sonic series and think their characters are way cooler, the Saiyans are just way too strong for the Hedgehogs and it wouldn't even be close to a fair fight. So I think this matchup is way more fair for the Sonic characters. For round 1, we have Sonic versus Yamcha, the two cool and cocky characters of the group. Starting off with Sonic, his abilities include super speed as well as superhuman strength, being able to easily break through robots with his fists and feet. Sonic also possesses amazing agility and is very durable, being able to take large hits from Eggman's robots and other enemies. And Sonic is very proficient in combat, being able to use his speed to his advantage. When it comes to signature moves, Sonic has spin attacks, the spin dash, the homing attack, the boost, Sonic Wind, and very recently with the Starfall Islands, he's gained tons of new abilities like the Psy Loop, Phantom Rush, and Sonic Boom, which has made him much stronger than ever when it comes to combat. But lastly, Sonic can turn not only into Super Sonic using the 7 Chaos Emeralds, but very recently he's been able to transform into an even stronger version of Super Sonic, referred to as Starfall Super Sonic or Super Sonic 2. In this super form, Sonic's speed and strength are greatly increased, and he also has the ability to fly. Some of Sonic's greatest feats include destroying entire fleets worth of Eggman's robots all by himself, defeating Chaos, the god of destruction, helping defeat Solaris, the sun god, helping defeat Dark Gaia, defeating the Time Eater, and defeating the Titans. Moving on to Yamcha, he possesses superhuman strength to a greater degree than Sonic, as well as super speed, though to a lesser extent. Yamcha also has super agility, durability, is an expert martial artist, as well as he has the ability to fly and shoot ki blast, as well as ki sense, which lets him sense the power levels of other people. When it comes to signature abilities, Yamcha has the Kamehameha, which is similar but not as strong as Goku and Krillin's use of the technique, as all three are from the Turtle School. He also has the Wolfang Fist, which is a powerful combo of attacks, as well as a finishing blow that's meant to resemble a wolf's attacks. And lastly, Yamcha has the Spirit Ball, which is a ball of energy that allows him to repeatedly attack opponents while using his fingers to guide it. Some of Yamcha's strongest feats include going toe-to-toe against early versions of Goku and Tien, defeating a Cybermen who are said to be as strong as Raditz, who's a weaker Saiyan, and helping defeat the Ginyu Force, which are an elite class of Frieza's soldiers, who at the time Vegeta and Kid Gohan struggled to fight. Now as for who wins this round, Sonic or Yamcha, I'm gonna have to give the edge to Sonic, mainly for the fact that Sonic has way greater feats than Yamcha does. Don't get me wrong, for a human in Dragon Ball, Yamcha is incredibly strong, but ever since the Saiyan saga, he barely does anything else, while Sonic has defeated multiple gods, even being able to defeat Perfect Chaos in his base form. I'm gonna have to give the win to Sonic. For round 2, we have Shadow versus Tien, the two series characters of the group. Starting off with Shadow, he is roughly the same level as Sonic when it comes to speed, strength, agility, and can perform spin attacks, homing attacks, spin dashes, and boosting too. But when it comes to his signature abilities, Shadow is a master at Chaos powers like Chaos Control, which allows him to stop time and space, Chaos Spears, Chaos Snap, which allows him to quickly teleport mid-combat, and Chaos Blast, which destroys everything in his path. Shadow recently was also shown to have Doom powers, which increase his Chaos abilities, as well as give him these giant wings that allow him to fly. Furthermore, Shadow can also take off his inhibitor rings, which allow him greater access to his Chaos powers, with the drawback of being weakened if he overexerts himself. But lastly, Shadow also has the ability to transform into Super Shadow, much like Sonic, where his speed and strength is greatly increased, as well as Shadow having the ability to fly. Some of Shadow's greatest feats include defeating the Bio Lizard, defeating Devil Doom and Neo Devil Doom, using Chaos Control on both the Bio Lizard and the Black Comet to stop them from destroying the planet, defeating Mephiles the Dark, and helping defeat Solaris. Moving on to Tien, he possesses superhuman strength and durability to an even greater extent than Yamcha, as well as super speed, the ability to fly, shoot ki blast, as well as being a master martial artist, even having his own dojo. As for signature moves, Tien has the Dadanrei, which is kind of like his martial arts school's version of the Kamehameha that him and Chaozu use. Tien also has the ability to grow multiple limbs temporarily, split himself into multiple persons, and use a solar flare which blinds opponents. But Tien's greatest power is the Tri-Beam, which forms a diamond-shaped ki blast cannon, and he even has a much stronger version called the Neo Tri-Beam. Tien's strongest feats include defeating an early Goku and Yamcha, helping defeat the Ginyu Force, holding off a semi-perfect Cell, defeating an entire army of Frieza soldiers, and fighting in the Tournament of Power. So for the winner of this round, as much as it pains me to say this, I'm gonna have to give the edge to Tien. As powerful as Shadow is, I think Tien might just be too much for him, with the two major reasons being that he was strong enough to hold back a semi-perfect Cell, and he was strong enough to enter in the Tournament of Power. Even without reaching his perfect form, Cell in his second form was still extremely powerful, being stronger than Goku, Gohan, Piccolo, and the androids. And as for the Tournament of Power, Tien was chosen to participate in a tournament that features essentially god-level fighters, and he even defeated a couple of opponents before being disqualified. Shadow would put up a good fight, but Tien would still come out on top. For round 3, we have Silver versus Chaozu, the two telekinetic characters of the group. Starting off with the GOAT Silver, he features super speed like Sonic and Shadow, but to a lesser extent, as well as super strength, agility, and durability. But when it comes to his signature powers, Silver is stacked, as he features psychokinesis, which allows him to move objects with his mind, and Silver is a master at this technique, as he's able to move people, rocks, cars, and even entire buildings and throw them at his opponents. Silver can also paralyze his opponents, and not only that, but Silver can use his psychokinesis to fly without him even needing to use his super form. He can also shoot psychic blasts and psychic knife attacks. He also has an ESP form where his powers are even stronger, and he's constantly surrounded by a psychic aura. And lastly, he can turn into Super Silver, just like Sonic and Shadow, where his speed and strength are greatly increased. Some of Silver's strongest feats include him defeating Sonic twice, going toe-to-toe against Shadow, defeating Iblis, also known as the Flames of Disaster, helping defeat Solaris, and putting up a good fight against Infinite. As for Chaozu, he has super strength, speed, durability, and agility, but to a much lesser extent than Tien or Yamcha. He's also an expert martial artist and has the ability to fly and shoot ki blasts. As for his signature moves, just like Tien, he has the Dadanrei, but Chaozu also has telepathy, which he can use to mess with people's heads. And just like Silver, he specializes in telekinesis, which allows him to hold his opponents in place, throw heavy objects with his mind, paralyze enemies, and he's also able to use psychic bomb attacks and even turn himself into a bomb as a last-ditch effort. Chaozu's strongest feats include almost defeating Krillin, helping defeat the Ginyu Force, and temporarily holding back Goku. Now for the winner of this round, it's going to be Silver. Although Chaozu would put up a good fight against him, Silver is just way more powerful than Chaozu, has much more feats, and is significantly more skilled at telekinesis than Chaozu is, as Silver can manipulate multiple people and objects with psychokinesis, while Chaozu often struggles to even hold one person in place. I'm gonna happily give the W to Silver. Now for the final round, we have Sonic and Silver versus Tien. And who do I think would win? Well, as strong as Sonic and Silver are, even with these two working together, I'm still gonna have to give the edge to Tien. Tien might not be one of the strongest in his respective universe, but once again, the fact that he was still strong enough to enter in the Tournament of Power, the same tournament with Ultra Instinct Goku and Jiren, speaks volumes. And as for Cell, at this point in time, Tien is probably way stronger than even Perfect Cell. If all three Hedgehogs turned super and gave it their all, then maybe they could defeat Tien, but even then, it's still kind of pushing it. So ultimately, the Z Fighters did win, but not without the Triple S giving them a run for their money. And that concludes this power scaling matchup. Making this was a lot of fun, and it's really cool to be able to talk about both Sonic and Dragon Ball. But anyways, that's gonna be it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know who you think would win. I hate everything about you, but do I love you? I hate everything about you, but do I love you?